YMCA.com. Good morning, and thanks for joining us here today. In the studio with us, Indiana County District Attorney Bob Manzi joins us in our visit presented by Marcus & Mack, voted the best law firm and the best personal injury lawyer 4 years in a row in the Best of Indiana County contest. Visit them online at marcusandmack.com. Good morning to you.
Morning, Todd. How are you today?
Wonderful, wonderful. You've got a senior summit coming up, which, they've become a traditional thing, but they're really, really important because, the number of people and the number of ways in which people can come at you, that doesn't go away. They just get stronger and stronger and better at what they do, and that puts seniors at risk.
Yeah, on May 13th, we're hosting our annual Senior Summit event. This is our 5th annual event. It's going to be at the YMCA starting at 8 o'clock in the morning, goes until noon. This is a free event hosted with all the partners in the Elder Abuse Task Force. We'll have vendors there with information with regards to county services, to financial services, banks, all of our partners through the Elder Abuse Task Force. Then we'll have speakers there talking about different scams that we're seeing, keeping people up to date on what the variations of the various thefts that they're trying to accomplish. Mm-hmm. We'll have fraud bingo that is always a hit. We have that every year. And
that's a game that they play?
It's a game that they play where they answer questions and they get points with what they're answering, and they hit the bingo card and walk away with prizes.
Holy cow, you throw bingo and a bunch of seniors.
They enjoy it. We have, they enjoy it. It's a really nice event. We usually get about 150 people that come there.
Yeah.
Some people come there for the whole day. Some can only come for a portion of it. We welcome everybody. Mm-hmm. And what we're really trying to do is engage people to think about all the scams that are out there, and we really want to prevent it before it happens, because many times once the money's gone, unfortunately it's gone and it can't be retrieved.
Yeah, and the idea of making people aware and that it really becomes a teamwork type of thing with senior citizens, with anybody who is at risk. If they know that there are risks out there and they are aware of the resources to fight those risks, then that's a win-win.
Oh, it's a win-win, and especially, we encourage anybody, seniors or anybody, if they think it's a fraud and they're not sure, contact my office, contact the local law enforcement, contact aging services. These scams have become so sophisticated with cell phones and emails and AI where they're really hard to detect, and they're becoming harder and harder to detect. And the biggest thing that I encourage folks to do is just take a second. Take a second to think about what you're doing. If you're not sure, you ask. And don't be afraid when you're asking. A lot of times we'll get people who feel concerned that if they raise the issue of them being scammed, especially senior citizens, they get worried, are they going to put me in a home, or I'm going to be embarrassed that I was the victim of a scam. And, I'm here to tell you, we have very intelligent, very hardworking, sophisticated business people that have been scammed, doctors that have been scammed, lawyers that have been scammed. These scams are pretty good. So I don't want people to be embarrassed. We want them to report it. We want them to ask those questions. Because, again, every dollar that we stop them from sending to some thief is a dollar saved and kept in their pocket.
Yeah, you're right, though. That stigma can hold people back. They don't want to be, you use the word embarrassed. They don't want to be embarrassed by saying that, they got me.
Oh, no, they don't want to be embarrassed. And when we go out and do our speaking events, whether it be at Senior Summit or at the various social halls, I tell them, I said, I have people with advanced degrees, medical doctors, lawyers, businesses, that, they fall victim to scams just because they're so sophisticated on what these scams are. Mm-hmm. And I don't want people to be embarrassed or embarrassed about it. I want them to report it. Sometimes, very limited, we are able to do something. But even just to raise that awareness to other folks, saying, hey, I got scammed. This is how it happened. I need you all to watch out. It stops others from being scammed.
Sure. YMCA next
Wednesday, May 13th.
Wednesday, May 13th.
And we'll have coffee and treats there in the morning. I always make sure we have plenty of coffee when we get there at 8 o'clock and try to keep it full during the day. But it is a free event. And again, if you're able to come for the full event, fantastic. If you can only make a portion of it, fantastic. We encourage everybody to come. And even people who have parents or grandparents that are seniors, maybe they want to come to learn about it and learn about what the different services are. We all get to an age where we start to, help our parents more and more with what's going on. So we want to know what's out there and how to protect our parents and grandparents from those scams.
Smart stuff. Smart stuff. 17 after 8 o'clock. We're with Indiana County District Attorney Bob Manzi. A couple of court cases to talk about. The Dilltown murder cases. Are those all wrapped up now?
They're much closer to being wrapped up. We had 2 individuals that were going to trial last month. 2 days before trial, they entered a plea to second-degree murder, aggravated assault, kidnapping. They will be sentenced. Right now it's scheduled for August 17th. There's a number of cooperating defendants against them. They need to wait until those 2 people are sentenced, and then their cases will flush through. And those are people who really, I don't know that they had any intent on committing a murder, but they did intend other things to happen, and they'll be held accountable for what their intentions were.
Yeah. All right. So you just said second-degree murder. There is a state law that state law regarding second-degree murder has changed in the sentencing guidelines in a very big way and very significant way that could bring a bunch of folks who are serving life in prison up for release that nobody really accounted on when they were sent to prison. And maybe that is going to happen, that some names that have surfaced in the past will soon or at some point become eligible for release from prison.
Yeah, so, it's an ever-changing world we live in the law, and our appellate courts just came down, prior to this case. It's called the Lee case. Prior to it, if you were convicted of second-degree murder, that meant mandatory life. After the Lee case, the appellate court said that the judge can sentence you to life in prison without parole, but it's not mandatory, meaning somebody could serve less. That really deals with Lee's case and really current cases going on right now. What that concern is going to be is how many people are serving second-degree murder life sentences right now in state prison. As of right now, that decision is not retroactive. So cases that have already been sentenced and already been through the appellate process, that sentence is, or that change in the sentence is not retroactive.
Yeah, but they're going to try.
We absolutely, we're fully anticipating that they're going to try. Why wouldn't they? They're in prison the rest of their life. So they're going to be making some challenges to that, which I think is very difficult in a lot of situations. Victims go through an ordeal when they deal with any kind of case, especially a homicide case like that, where, it's a long time coming. They're dealing with major emotions. They finally wrap it up. They can finally move on with their life. And now they're dealing with this specter of, okay, now what's going to happen? What's going to change? So, understanding what our appellate courts have done, we're addressing our current cases that way. But now we're really taking a look at all of the cases over the years that have been convicted of second-degree murder. Yeah. And what could happen to them, and really the factors of what part did they play. The change in the law really was to distinguish between the actual killer and maybe a person who was driving a getaway car that never went into the store to rob them, something along those fact lines. So we're really going to be looking not only at the facts of each case, but what were the plea arrangements? What happened? And it's kind of tough to do when it's 20 years ago and those people are no longer around to ask why they did things or if they remember why. So it really is bringing up that specter for a lot of folks of who are serving life for second degree. They're certainly going to try, and I really foresee us dealing with it in the next couple of years.
Was the judge's decision based upon a change in the statute or just an interpretation of the statute?
This would have been the appellate court's interpretation of the U.S. Constitution, saying it's unconstitutional to mandate somebody convicted of second-degree murder to serve life. Under the felony murder rule, if somebody commits a certain violent felonies, not all felonies, but think robbery, kidnapping, arson, if you kill somebody in the course of committing one of those felonies, it's second-degree murder, and in Pennsylvania, that used to be mandatory life.
Mhm.
You know, now there's going to be a change that our legislature needs to address to see what that looks like, where the judge still can sentence life without parole, but
Mhm.
doesn't have to.
Yeah. So legislature should, or could, I shouldn't say should, but could step in and say, we're going to change the law, toughen it up, and make sure that it's still mandatory life.
Well, they can't make it mandatory life. They'll have to build out a framework in compliance with the Lee decision where the judge can do life without parole, but the judge is not mandated to do it.
Okay. All right. So those are some of the things that we're dealing with in our court system right now and within the Indiana County courts. And interesting that came through because there are some cases that are relatively recent, last 15 or 20 years, that are well-known defendants, and their cases are well-known to still a lot of people. And that can be very, very distressing to families. I know that there are notification rules that take effect when there's a change, even in a change of location for an inmate from one prison to another. The family of the victims in murder cases, they do get notified.
Yeah, they can sign up for the system through the Office of Victim Services, where they will be getting notifications, and we do know that victims' families are receiving these notifications, and really there's not a solid law in place right now or a solid idea of what's going to happen. So that's even tougher for them because they receive notification that there may be changes. We don't know what they are.
Yeah.
So that's even tougher of
Stress.
not knowing.
Stress, my goodness. All right, so a couple of things that we're covering here this morning with Indiana County District Attorney Bob Manzi, but we do want to point out again, next Wednesday, a week from today, is the Senior Summit.
Senior Summit, May 13th at the YMCA. Again, it's a free event. Please come join us, whether it's for the whole day or part of the day from 8 a.m. till noon. We have a lot of great speakers lined up as usual, a lot of vendors coming out, setting up their tables, and a lot of great information, both for seniors and for, really people who have parents and grandparents of that age where we want to make sure we're protecting them from all the various scams.
That's an important aspect of it, that you, even if you're not in that situation, you have family members who are, and you might have the opportunity to care for them in such a way and to protect them. You ought to take advantage of it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. He's District Attorney Bob Manzi. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much. You have a great day.
It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. 24 and a half, almost 25 minutes after.